Welcome everyone to the second annual EIMOC Barry and Linda Franklin Microgrant Award Presentation webinar. My name is Neil Peterson from Brigham Young University, and I am one of the co-chairs for EIMOC. Next to me here is Lisa, the other co-chair.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Leininger. I'm from California State University, Monterey Bay, and as Neil mentioned, I am the other co-chair of EIMOC. We're excited to host this webinar featuring our 2022 Franklin Microgrant winners as they share their goals, methodology, results, and experiences from their program grant.
Before we get started, we have a few housekeeping items to make you aware of. This is a voice-over IP webinar, meaning it is completely web-based. If you experience any technical difficulties, or if your video begins to buffer, it is likely caused by the strength of your internet signal. If you are having issues, try logging off and logging back on again. We are recording this webinar, and you can watch it again later if you are having too many technical difficulties.
Now, today's webinar will feature the 2022 Barry and Linda Franklin Microgrant EIMOC awardees. First, we will hear from Lana Prokop, PT, DPT, from St. Catherine University, recipient of the Physical Activity Promotion Grant. This grant is awarded to EIMOC leadership teams aiming to provide, promote, and/or evaluate physical activity or exercise opportunities for campus community members. Next will be Mila Paget, MS, ACSM EP, from the University of South Carolina, Aiken, recipient of the Physical Activity Assessment and Referral Grant. This grant is awarded to EIMOC leadership teams aiming to evaluate the effectiveness of the campus health assessment and referral process and/or exercise prescription services.
At the end of the presentation, we will open up to a Q&A about their projects and the current cycle for program grants that is open now through November 10th. If you have any questions, please type it into the question area within the GoToWebinar navigation page. Thank you. We will now begin with our first presenter.
Hello, and thank you for having me today. I am delighted to share information about the St. Catherine University Exercises Medicine on-campus video project that was funded through the Barry and Linda Franklin Exercises Medicine on Campus Microgrant program. We were grateful to be awarded the Physical Activity Promotion Grant. My name is Lana Prokop, and I'm an assistant professor in the undergraduate exercise and sports science program here at St. Kate's, and I serve as the faculty advisor on our Exercises Medicine on Campus leadership team. In our time together today, I would like to start by introducing you to St. Catherine University and then sharing some background information about the history and current status of exercises medicine on campus here at St. Kate's. I will spend the majority of the time talking about the video project funded through the Franklin Microgrant and then conclude with information about adjacent projects and where we would like to take exercises medicine in the future. St. Catherine University, also known as St. Kate's, is located in St. Paul, Minnesota. We are a small liberal arts university founded by the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet in 1905. St. Kate's is composed of 3 different degree programs with a total of approximately 3,500 students. Our traditional undergraduate college for women is at the heart of the university, serving about 1,400 students across 49 degree programs. Almost 50% of College for Women students identify as Black, Indigenous, people of color, and over 1/3 are first-generation college students. We also have a college for adults with over 1,000 students across 18 degree programs at either the baccalaureate or associate levels. And lastly, we have an additional 1,000 plus students in the graduate college with a total of 27 either certificate, master's, or doctoral programs. St. Kate's became a registered member of Exercises Medicine on campus in fall 2019. We got off to a quick start and had a lot of early momentum. We participated in the Mascot Challenge and celebrated Exercises Medicine on Campus Week that first fall. We also had a student conduct a climate survey around physical activity that I will discuss a little bit later on. Unfortunately, with the global pandemic 6 months later, our momentum diminished and there was a period of time where our efforts were on pause. Since we have been back on campus, we have reinvigorated our efforts. We've built Exercises Medicine on Campus Week into our curriculum, and the senior exercise and sports science students are in charge of managing Exercises Medicine on Campus Week through our capstone curriculum. Here are a few pictures from this fall. They did a great job engaging people in a variety of ways, including tabling with educational information and ways to get involved, as shown in the middle picture. We also did sidewalk chalk messages on the left, and we quote unquote took a walk down memory lane, if you will, on the right side picture there to learn about the history of women and physical activity. Additionally, Exercises Medicine on Campus became a chartered student club at St. Kate's this past spring. So far, there are about 60 students who have expressed interest in being in the club, and we look forward to increasing participation in both our College for Adults and graduate programs in the future. Before I talk specifically about the video project, I would like to provide context for why we thought it would be an impactful project. In 2019, Exercises Medicine on Campus conducted an electronic climate survey. We surveyed first-year students in our traditional undergraduate college about their attitudes towards physical activity and perceptions of accessibility of physical activity on campus. Molly McMahon, who was one of the student leaders of EIMOC leadership team at that time and has now graduated from the St. Kate's Doctor of Physical Therapy program, took the lead on that project. I know the image is not large enough to read, but I wanted to include it because Molly put in a lot of time and effort into the project, and she was unfortunately unable to present as planned at the Northland Regional ACSM meeting due to the pandemic. So just brief information about the prior survey study. 44 first-year students participated in the survey. 55% reported that they did not meet ACSM physical activity guidelines. 37% indicated they lacked knowledge about exercise, while 44% lacked confidence in engaging in exercise. However, only 12% reported they did not enjoy exercising. The results indicated the majority of respondents want to engage in exercise, but lacked the resources, knowledge, and/or confidence to do so. As such, we saw an opportunity for Exercises Medicine on Campus to fill the gap, which brings us to the video project. In spring 2022, Shivani and Emma, pictured here, our two student leaders from Exercises Medicine on Campus, authored the Physical Activity Promotion Franklin Microgrant application. The overarching goal of the video project was to create virtual, on-demand resources that are accessible to the campus community in order to increase student, faculty, and staff knowledge and confidence in engaging in physical activity by creating and promoting instructional exercise videos and ideas for engaging in physical activity on campus. The picture on the right of the screen shows the Butler Fitness Center on campus. The Butler Fitness Center is open to students, staff, and faculty, and also a limited number of community members. There is a wide variety of spaces within the fitness center that are open for use. I will show some of the spaces for context. The image on the right shows the gymnasium with an elevated walking track. On the left is the Wildcat Training Center, a multi-purpose space with softball hitting bays, track and field equipment, tennis and volleyball court lines, and more. The pool is open for lap swim a few times a day. There is a cardio room with bikes, treadmills, ellipticals, and stairmasters. We also have a fitness studio that can be used individually or for group fitness classes. The last few pictures here are from the weight room. The image on the left is the front weight room that primarily has weight machines. The image on the right shows the back weight room, which has more free weights, racks, and a variety of other equipment. Hopefully showing these pictures allows you to see that we have spaces and equipment on campus that are open to all students, staff, and faculty. However, there is a perception that the Butler Fitness Center is for student athletes, and other students have expressed feeling either intimidated by the space or that they do not belong in the building, which is a problem since we know exercise is medicine, and we would love for everyone to be engaging in physical activity. With that, we really hope the video project and additional Exercises Medicine on Campus programming will start to shift the culture around the Butler Center and make it a more welcoming space for all. For the video project, our target audience are the folks who would like to engage in more physical activity, yet lack the knowledge and confidence to do so. Emma and Shivani took inventory of the resistance training and cardio equipment on campus and prioritized the weight machines and more commonly used cardio equipment. They developed scripts for the machines that would be used as voiceovers in the instructional videos. As noted earlier, the traditional undergraduate women's college at St. Kate's is pretty diverse. We wanted to be intentional about making sure our models in the instructional videos were students who reflected our student body, as we know that representation matters. We also wanted to be thoughtful about what people might see on social media versus the reality of physical activity. For instance, many influencers have expensive workout outfits, and that's just not a reality for our students. As such, we strive to have the models be as relatable as possible. The videos were filmed and edited by a student worker who also added voiceovers. Now we'll talk through the general layout of the videos in a little bit. Lastly, once the videos were completed, they were uploaded to Panopto, which is a video software program that will allow them to be stored and accessed indefinitely, and will also provide data on usage. We have attached QR codes to the machines that link to the videos for everyone to view. I would like to thank our video project team. Callie took the lead on the creation of the videos, working off the scripts that Emma and Shivani had previously developed. Aya and Rose were our gracious models. At this time, we have 10 instructional videos available to Butler Fitness Center users through the use of the QR codes. We have a few additional QR codes around campus to promote physical activity in spaces that are not solely designed for physical activity. For instance, the photo shows Dewdrop Pond on campus, which has a walking path around it. We have posted information about various walking paths on campus and the distance of the different routes. We would like to continue building the video library in the future to include more body weight supported and free weight exercises as well. I would like to walk you through the instructional videos using the shoulder press machine as an example. The QR code is attached to the machine for users to scan and watch the video. Of note, we have a link to the entire folder of instructional videos so a person could view the videos in the comfort of their own space and gain familiarity with the machines before even being physically present in the weight room or cardio room. Here is a close-up of the cards hung on the machines. I have several screenshots of the shoulder press video to show the gist of the video, since I didn't trust my tech skills to be able to play a video during this presentation. Each video starts with the Exercises Medicine on Campus logo, followed by a view of the machine within the weight or the cardio room with the name of the machine on the screen. The model demonstrates how to adjust various aspects of the machine, including the seat height, the weight stack, and any other relevant aspects. Then the model demonstrates how to get into the machine and perform several repetitions before getting off the machine. General information is added about wiping down the machine after use. The videos within Panopto also have closed captioning. As for the $500 budget, we used funds in 4 different areas. The models were provided with the t-shirts they wore for filming and were also compensated with a gift card. Callie, the student worker, was paid for her time making the videos. We purchased a laminator for the QR codes to try to ensure their longevity, especially the ones in the outdoor spaces. And lastly, we used the remaining funds as incentives to take the survey that I will talk about on the next screen in order to help us evaluate the effectiveness of the videos in changing people's knowledge and confidence around using the weight room and cardio room. To finish, I would like to talk about how the video project intersects with other projects on campus. As previously noted, we are using some of the funds for incentives to participate in a research study, with the videos being used as an intervention. We are expanding the prior 2019 study to include not only students, but also faculty and staff, and we are opening it up to the entire campus instead of just the traditional undergraduate women's college. We collected pre-assessment survey data, launched the videos, and have been promoting them around campus. And then we will complete the post-assessment survey once the videos have been available for 4 weeks. I'm happy to talk more about the study in the question and answer section. Next, Dr. Megan Mason, Associate Professor and Program Director of Public Health, will be utilizing the survey data set in her biostatistics class this semester, with the students completing statistical analyses. And the third aspect of the project, Jasmine Mendez is an undergraduate exercise science pre-occupational therapy student who has taken the lead on the survey study. She will be using a subset of the data for her honors project. Jasmine plans to identify a group on campus that does not meet the physical activity guidelines and who indicates barriers to participating in physical activity per the survey data, and then will develop programming to meet the group's specific needs. So those three things were an overview of what is already being done. Lastly, I would like to build off the video project to become a gold level campus in the near future. We have a health and wellness center on campus that has already expressed support in screening for physical activity as a vital sign. However, they did not want to start doing that until we had something to offer students who were not meeting the guidelines. We would like to create a mechanism for the Health and Wellness Center and the Counseling Center on campus to refer students to work with a quote-unquote student personal trainer. We are in the beginning stages of planning, and I foresee the video project being a valuable resource for that future program. Thank you for your time and attention today. I certainly want to thank ACSM, Exercises Medicine on Campus, and of course the Barry and Linda Franklin Microgrant program. We are incredibly grateful for the grant funding, and this has been a really fun project to work on. I certainly hope there will be a meaningful impact, and I look forward to seeing the results of the survey and moving forward with our Exercises Medicine on Campus programming. I would also like to thank all the folks who contributed to this project along the way, including those you met throughout the presentation: Shivani, Emma, Callie, Aya, Rose, Jasmine, and Dr. Mason. The folks in the Butler Center have been very supportive of the project, and we've had nice engagement with the St. Kate's community participating in the pre-assessment survey. Last but not least, Mary Bach, our grant management specialist, has been incredibly helpful from day one. Thank you all.
Good afternoon. My name is Mila Padgett, and I'm the Director of Campus Recreation and Wellness at the University of South Carolina, Aiken. And I'm excited to talk to you today about our exercises medicine program, Microgrant, that was specifically looking at physical activity and the assessment process. Myself, along with Dr. Brian Parr, worked this past year to put on a variety of events to increase the number of participants within our exercises medicine program. I want to start by giving you an overview of USC Aiken. We are part of the USC system in South Carolina, and we are a small campus around 3,000 full-time undergraduate students. We're a Division II school, and we have about 1,000 beds on campus, and right now we're at 80% capacity. We are still recovering from COVID in that way. Our department has 4 full-time professionals and 1 part-time that we do share with exercise and sports science. Our facilities, we have a wellness center and a natatorium, and then a student employee population of anywhere between 30 and 40 students a semester. One piece of our campus that is excellent and has been for a long time is the collaboration between all of our areas. We are a small university and we really do rely on each other in order to provide quality services to our students and faculty and staff. Exercise as Medicine has been at USC Aiken since 2012. We started as a collaboration between academics and our department with a case study of 18 students and really looking at, does exercise as medicine make a difference? How do students like the program, etc. From there, we worked to get the paths into the intake forms, specifically in the Student Health Center and Counseling Center. And in 2015, we had that process solidified and earned gold status. From 2015 to 2020, we really tried to broaden the way our relationships and partnerships were on campus and how we got the word out about exercise as medicine. And one of our best partnerships was with our Veteran and Military Student Success Center. And then, as everyone knows, COVID hit and we had to adapt and change. And so then we have been recovering like many of you. And last year we had 14 participants. And with the Microgrant, we were looking to double that in a year. And we came close, not quite. We had 25 participants in exercise as medicine this past year. So the focus of our grant was to increase participation and really looking at how do our participants find out about exercise as medicine and what has them actually do the program. We wanted to assess the effectiveness in improving fitness and ongoing exercise habits and really looking at their confidence and how can exercise as medicine improve that. The bulk of our budget went to increasing the number of coaches and training, and then also to incentives for people that did participate. Our exercise as medicine program is a student-led program. We have paid employees, and in the past year, we have gained and grown to 4 to 6 coaches. This is 3 of our leaders in the program. And the other piece that is very important in our mind at USC Aiken is this partnership with exercise and sports science majors and providing a high impact practice for them as a practical application of their academic studies. We also know that the connection, that peer-to-peer, has made a difference in the past, and so we really wanted to leverage that as well. Looking a little deeper at our budget, this is where the money went. Like I said, we gave different incentives away at one-time events, and also the t-shirt that you see there if people finish the program. It also won an award at the NERSA conference, so I'm pretty proud of that. It also went to training our coaches and really looking at giving them meals for the training, because the training can be long, and it's also an incentive for them. Our overall exercise as medicine coaching program includes 4 sessions. You can kind of see what we do in each of those sessions. Really, it's sessions number 2 and 3 where we're training individuals to the different exercise modalities that they can do over the next 3 to 4 weeks, with the goal that it just promotes consistency and does not overwhelm them. So they're only given 1 exercise per major muscle group for 1 day and then a second day. And then we also go over cardiovascular activity as well. One thing that is unique about USC Aiken is they have a requirement for ICE events, which those are 16 credit hours of other events that would have them become a well-rounded student. And it's not an academic class. One credit is one event. So what we did was create interesting educational programs that we then also talked about exercise as medicine at the end of the event. So we did things on nutrition, gut health, mental health, exercise, and we always paired how exercise makes an impact on whatever that topic was. So this is where we found most of the referrals came from, is during this event, they would sign up, and then our exercise medicine coaches are there to talk about the program and get them involved right there. Some of the other events that we have for exercise medicine is any activity counts. So we really try to get people involved in something they enjoy, something they think that they will do on a regular basis, something that will give them experience and in a group environment where maybe they can come with their friends. So these are just some of the events that we have held over each semester. In looking at who participated, 25 people did participate and 14 of them completed their post-evaluation. So we didn't have 100% participation, but in looking at the 14, it really did give us a snapshot of what they're learning within exercise medicine. We wanted to increase participation, and we do that, just not to the extent that we were hoping. I really would have liked 3 more participants. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what some of the confidence ratings were on the post-evaluation. And ultimately, where we found most of our referrals, they came from ICE events, where our coaches had a table set up, they took names, they talked a little bit more about what the program was, and then they signed them up for their first session. That is definitely where we saw the most individuals in the EIM program. One of the questions we asked on the post-evaluation and the pre is, what is the number one barrier to participating on a consistent basis? And what the responses said is they were not really sure where to begin. And the second and the third are uncomfortable in the facility and then also time. So what we hoped was that by participating in exercise medicine, that we could decrease that barrier, especially not sure where to begin and the being uncomfortable in the facility and really just not knowing what to do. We were happy that the confidence analysis did show that there were improvements in each of these areas. And some of them we need to improve upon even more. But overall, the biggest one is, did exercise medicine improve your confidence level to perform physical activity and exercise? And overwhelmingly, that was a yes. Where we need to still make improvements is using strength equipment. So cardiovascular seemed to be a little bit easier for people to gain that confidence. But like anything, when you're using strength equipment, it is a little bit more of a learning curve of, how do I use this piece of equipment? Which muscle am I using? And so you can see that there's still education needed to make sure that people feel comfortable in creating a strength program. Moving forward, what we're going to do is continue to offer ICE events and encourage exercise as medicine participation within these programs. As of this fall, as of October 9th, we are already at 13 people that are in process of the program, and that came all from our first 2 ICE events that we had. We'll continue our partnerships with Counseling Center and Student Health Center because they are important, and it does help even if a student doesn't go into the program right then. They're becoming educated about what exercise does for their overall health. We will continue to broaden our partnerships and looking at working with our academic success coaches and our resident life mentors. We also are doing a lot to pair the physical activity and its impact on overall mental well-being as much as physical well-being, because we know that research is there and it does make a difference. And one of the things we're going to work on very shortly is a testimonial campaign for people that were in the program and what it did for them to hopefully increase that participation even more. So I want to thank you, and I will be at the webinar to answer any questions.
All right. Well, thank you to Lana and Mila for those wonderful presentations. And now we'd like to encourage everyone, if you have some questions for our presenters, that there should be a little box where you can submit your questions. And we already have some ready to go for our presenters. I think I'd like to start with Lana. First of all, those videos idea, what a great idea of having those ready to go right there. I'm sure that it just makes a ton of sense. I know I've used some of those machines before, and I'm like, there's little images there, and I've, you'd think that those would be sufficient to tell you what to do, and I've wondered, I don't even know how to use some of these machines, but tell me briefly, what were some of the challenges in making these videos in this video project?
Yeah, thank you. I think that's where, growing up as an athlete and being exposed to weight rooms and stuff like that, I took a lot of that for granted, right? And so to your point, I think a lot of people, if they didn't grow up around it, the weight room can be a really intimidating place, and we wanted to have something that was easily accessible to everyone. And most people carry their smartphone around with them these days, so it made sense to us, and hopefully it'll end up being a valuable resource on campus. Some of the challenges, I think, just from a timing aspect, right? Like, we were writing the grant coming out of the chaos of the pandemic, more or less. Like, at the point in time when we were writing the grant, we were back on campus, but we still had masks on, and we were trying to move back toward a quote unquote normal life. And so I think at that point in time, everyone was excited, right? Like, everyone was excited to be back and being able to re-engage with the campus community. So I think the biggest challenge for us was probably just managing our time and being able to stick to the timeline that we had laid out, because ultimately there was all of a sudden a lot going on after not a whole lot going on. And so people were getting back into the swing of all of these different activities and projects on campus. And I think we all needed to relearn more or less how to build in some of that time management when we had the availability to do it again. So I think that was probably our biggest challenge, just being a little bit more of the timeline that we had laid out for ourselves. And then other challenges, right? Like, the vast majority of the people working on the project are from exercise science, and we don't necessarily have the same kind of video editing skills that someone else might have. And so we played around with things a little bit and kind of had to fumble through that process of learning how to use some of the technology. And ultimately, Callie was familiar with iMovie and was able to do some things pretty quickly, where we had struggled for a little bit until we found Callie. So I'd say those are the two big things for us.
At a small university like yours, it might be hard to find people with some of those skills at other universities where you may have some of those resources. It might be easier to find those people with some of those skills who can make those videos
Exactly.
for you.
And then too, right, like maybe someone has the video skills, but then they don't know anything about the weight room equipment. So just kind of finding those matches more or less and putting together the right team of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you also mentioned some of this pre-post kind of assessment survey research surrounding this project. So can you tell us about where you are in that process and what you're learning from that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I have a couple of notes with me here too, so I'll be looking in a couple of different spots. So we utilized Exercise as Medicine on Campus Week to really promote the survey. And so we had our tabling event that you saw a picture of. We had flyers on campus promoting it, and we have a couple of different newsletters that we really asked the campus community to give us some feedback and information on. So we had it open for a week. We had 128 people fill it out. Of the 128, we had, I think, 120 complete responses of folks that were eligible and actually went through and answered all of the questions. We were really pleased with that. From my standpoint, I was a little bit nervous since we integrated it into the curriculum and Dr. Mason's relying on the data set for her class this semester. I was nervous that we wouldn't have enough people fill it out to be able to get a full data set for her, but it ended up working out really well. So of the 120 folks that participated, about 70% were students, and then the other 30% were composed of staff and faculty. 51% reported meeting ACSM's aerobic physical activity requirements, but only less than 33% are currently meeting the resistance training requirements. So we asked lots of different questions throughout, but to kind of hone in on just a couple of things. Much like Mila found actually is that people had more knowledge and confidence around cardio equipment and much less around any kind of resistance training equipment. So that's definitely an area of opportunity that we'd like to capitalize on moving into the future as well. And then I think another piece of note that I picked out was that 30% of the 120 respondents that we had put themselves in either the contemplation or preparation phase of the trans theoretical model of stages of change. Like ideally, that would be our population that we're reaching out to, that people who aren't currently meeting the physical activity guidelines, but have expressed some sort of interest in doing so in either the next 30 days or 6 months. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to capitalize not only on the video project intervention, but to also build out other programming on campus through not only Exercise as Medicine on campus specifically, but to hopefully integrate it into the curriculum a little bit more as well. So we've had the videos available for a little over a week now, and then we'll follow up with the post-assessment survey in mid-November, more or less, and we'll keep that survey open for a week as well.
That's great. And I love that you have you said that you had all the videos like in some sort of list or playlist available, and you could watch them before you even got to the gym. So it's like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like, you could watch the videos in advance.
And that's, there are so many things about the survey that I absolutely love, and it's just so nice to be able to dig through not only more of the statistical data, but to be able to look at some of the written response questions as well, and to truly hear what some of the people are saying about just not feeling comfortable being in that space, or they don't want to go alone, or they have no idea how to use the equipment or get started. So hoping to take a little bit of that intimidation factor away and allow people to access specifically St. Kate's machines more or less, and gain comfortability with that before they even set foot in the door, right? And I think there are so many resources online nowadays where, yeah, you could find a YouTube video, but it's not the same machine in the same location that you're going to use at St. Kate's. So I think there's value in that.
We even see that with Mila's research, right? And what they were doing with, like, was that the second most responded area of, like, I don't even know what to do, right? Well,
yeah, that and the uncomfortable in the facility.
And then uncomfortable, right? And so that's like, a way of like helping people feel more comfortable. Like, here's what the device looks like. This is how to use it. This is what it does, and here's what to expect. You know, that helps people feel more comfortable, I think.
Yeah, Lana and Mila, I think your projects were amazing. I got so many ideas for my campus already based off of this. So Mila, I have a question for you. For your trainers, I'm really interested in your student employees. You mentioned that the training is long. So I'm just curious from a practical standpoint, what kind of training are these students getting? Because I'm feeling like my students, I'm not sure if I trust them in the weight room advising other students. And so, how much time does that take? And then what's risk management like for your university?
Yeah, so when I say long, I mean days long, right? Because it's a time and meshing when everybody can be together. That's the hardest part, is matching schedules. So typically, if we find a day, it's all day. So it's making sure we have food and incentives like that. The one piece I think that I'm fortunate is all of the exercise medicine coaches are exercise sports science students. And the majority of them have gone through their basic foundation and core classes. So they've gone through fitness testing and measurement. They've gone through, basic principles. So they're coming to the table with some knowledge already. So now it's more of, how do you interact with the person? Let's make sure you know what and how to do this exercise correctly. But we also keep the exercises basic. So they're not personal trainers. That's why we call them coaches. They are giving a program that myself and of the other trainers that are on our staff have structured, that are major muscle groups. This is how you do a leg extension. This is how you use our leg press machine. This is how you do a squat. So it's a little bit of a canned program, with us knowing the majority of the people are not comfortable and they don't know where to start. So our biggest thing is to not overwhelm them, because if all of a sudden you give them 5 exercises for legs and you give them 10 exercises for upper body, it's too much. And our main goal is to get them consistent for 3 weeks. That's what we're trying to do, is okay, 3 to 4 weeks, we want to get you in here for 2 to 3 days, striving for that 150 minutes. And what we found is you have to keep it simple. And Lana's probably in a similar boat, right? So I have been exercising. I was an athlete. It is part of my life culture. I have always done it, but that is not the case for the majority of the people that we see. It is brand new to them. And so you have to really put yourself in their shoes. And it's not even completely that for our coaches. A lot of them are active and they've done this for a long time. So it's teaching them that less is more. So let's do really, really good quality stuff for this part of the program. And then once they get into it, then we can beef it up and, promote other activities that we have. But this is really what is the starting point for everybody to get them consistent.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a great idea. I'm totally going to run with that now. the more canned.
I have heard someone, and I'm stealing this from my friend at Ohio University, is they called it verify. We have verified these individuals that they have gone through training with us, but they're not trainers. That is another level. And right. So you kind of have to work within what your university is going to allow you to do risk management wise. You talked about that. And making sure people are safe and it's effective. So there's a balance in there.
For sure, for sure. So I know, Milo, one more question for you, and then we can kind of start to wrap this up. I know one of the challenges for a lot of universities is implementing PABs. And so do you have any words of advice or encouragement for programs that are striving to go from silver to gold?
And we were one of those universities. You saw it took a long time. And so for us,
it depends on who's in that leadership role, right? And what their belief is, and you showing the proof of how that can be a benefit. So at first, we actually, the PAVs, and it's not part of the gold standard, but we started working with our counseling center first because they were on board, and the partnership between exercise and mental health, and they started doing the referrals and using our referral, like the formal referral first, because our student health center wasn't on board for whatever reason. I'm not going to speak to that, but you just can't stop. So that would be my thing, is you just keep pushing the research and pushing the reasons why this makes a difference. And we had a change, and that new director of our health center is completely on board. And so, and has been, so this person has been, but even before it was in 2015 is when we finally got the official. So what I would say to people is, yes, strive for gold, but don't let that stop you with trying to get a referral in another way. So that's when we started working with our veteran student success center. We started working with housing, we worked with counseling, and eventually they came around, right? So I would just say you just keep on going, because you know it's the right thing to do. So you just keep doing it.
You love that. Yep.
We love to hear these success stories, and I love to see all the swag too. That was really great. Great job, everyone. I think we'll start to wrap it up here. We do want to, Lisa and I want to mention how everyone can apply for these microgrants, because we're entering that time where everyone can apply for this. First of all, to sign up to be eligible to register, first of all, go on to, if you're not a registered campus, go on to exercisesmedicine.org. You scroll down, I think it's over on the right-hand side. It's kind of this burnt orange EIMOC button is where you can go register your campus. You scroll down to the big green button for register my campus. Is where you go to register, and then make sure that you are, let's see, what else do they have to know about that, Lisa? I can't even remember.
So also keep in mind, so once you're a registered EIMOC campus, when you apply for the Franklin Microgrant, that the primary investigator needs to be an ACSM member. So if your PI is not a national member, they can sign up to become a member through the ACSM.org website as well. So those are the two things to be in place before you apply for this year's microgrant.
Yeah, and usually we want that to be the, the advisor for your team at the your campus.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's about it. We want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. Thank you again, Lana and Mila, for your great contribution, your presentations, for joining us today. Again, as we close, we want to announce to everyone to apply for the microgrants as displayed on your screen there. The applications are open through November 10th. The QR code that's there will take you to the webpage, and we look forward to seeing all of you to apply to one of the 3 funding levels that the microgrant offers in our 2024 cycle. And thank you again for attending today's webinar.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.